Okay, let's just dive right in. There's this really unprecedented legal fight kicking off right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty bizarre, honestly, and definitely significant.
Absolutely. We're talking about French President Emmanuel Macron and the First Lady Brigitte Macron.
Right, and they filed this major defamation lawsuit against the U.S. conservative commentator Candace Owens.
Yeah. So today, we're going to try and unpack this. Look at the, frankly, astonishing claims being made.
And the legal strategy, the whole battleground, and maybe understand why this case is getting so much global attention.
It's a lot to cover.
So let's set the scene. The main players: Emmanuel Macron, French president, generally seen as centrist; Brigitte Macron, the First Lady, former teacher.
And on the other side, Candace Owens, the American conservative voice, big podcast following.
And this lawsuit, filed July 23rd, 2025, Delaware Superior Court. It's huge, 218 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're alleging a, quote, campaign of global humiliation through Owens' podcast series, Becoming Brigitte. They want damages, compensatory, and punitive.
Okay, so what exactly did Owens say? What are these claims driving such a massive legal action?
This is where it gets really wild.
Yeah, the specifics from her Becoming Brigitte series are... Well, there's something else. She's claimed Brigitte Macron was born male.
Born male, with a different name.
Yeah, named Jean-Michel Trougnoux, supposedly living under a false identity. But it doesn't stop there.
Oh?
She's also alleged the Macrons are incestuous biological relatives.
Okay, that's quite a claim.
And then maybe the most sort of out there allegation that Emmanuel Macron himself was somehow created by the CIA.
The CIA?
Through a mind control program called MK-Ultra, specifically to become president. Now, we should be clear here.
Right.
MK-Ultra, that was a real CIA program.
Right.
Declassified back in the 50s to the 70s, looking into mind control.
But zero credible evidence linking it to Macron, I assume.
Absolutely none. Zero. Owens is also talking about a global cover-up, demanding blood tests, depositions. She even suggested Donald Trump as a witness.
Okay. Wow. So given claims like that, the lawsuit maybe makes more sense. But the legal strategy itself is interesting, right?
Definitely.
They're arguing Owens knew this was false, or at least acted with malicious intent, ignored requests to take it back.
And look at their legal team, Clairlock LLP and Farnan LLP. Those are heavy hitters.
Weren't they the ones behind the Dominion voting systems case against Fox News?
Yeah.
A massive settlement?
Exactly. Same firms. That sends a message. And choosing Delaware, that wasn't random either.
Why Delaware?
That's where Owens's podcast network, the infrastructure, is registered. So it gives them a legal foothold there. It's strategic.
Okay, so how has Owens responded to all this?
Defiantly. Predictably, perhaps. She's completely refused to retract anything.
Right.
Framing it as, an attack on American free speech by a foreign leader. She's been very public, challenging them to prove her wrong.
Even using things like T-shirts and memes mocking the First Lady.
Yeah, exactly. Her spokesperson basically called the lawsuit a desperate PR stunt and said Owens is just an independent journalist exercising her rights.
But isn't there a history here? These rumors about Brigitte Macron.
There is. That specific theory, the Brigitte is a man idea, it actually started circulating in France back in 2021.
And didn't Brigitte Macron sue people over it in France before?
She did, yes, back in 2022. There were some initial rulings, though I believe one conviction got overturned and is currently being appealed. So it's not entirely new territory for them, but this U.S. lawsuit is a whole different scale.
And it feels different when it's a sitting president and First Lady suing personally, especially in another country. That's very unusual, isn't it?
Extremely rare. It really shows how seriously they're taking these specific allegations from Owens.
And it highlights that tough standard in U.S. defamation law for public figures. They have to prove actual malice.
Right, which means showing Owens knew it was false or just acted with reckless disregard for whether it was true or not. That's a high bar.
A very high bar. So connecting this to the bigger picture, what does this case really signify?
Well, this raises some important questions, doesn't it? The case really forces us to look at the lines around free speech.
Especially when these attacks feel very personal, maybe using transphobia or misogyny, but framed as journalism.
Exactly. It touches on disinformation, the limits of conspiracy talk. Could it set a precedent? Can world leaders successfully sue U.S. commentators over this kind of content?
That's a huge question.
It is. And then there's a risk for the Macrons, too, right? The so-called Streisand effect.
Where trying to suppress something just makes it louder.
Precisely. The lawsuit itself could end up giving these rumors much wider attention than they ever would have had otherwise. It's a gamble.
So what does it all boil down to? We're watching this clash between global figures trying to protect their reputation and these really strong U.S. free speech protections.
A real tension there.
Yeah. And as this, frankly, unprecedented legal fight plays out, you have to ask, what does this tell us about truth, about information, about accountability in this super-connected world we live in now?